Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to all of my Virgos. We are doing a tarot reading for the month of September. So if you are a Virgo sun, moon, rising, or Venus, this is the message for you. And in case you are curious, I'll be using the Cosmo Tarot deck for your reading today. So let's see what September has in store for you, Virgos. So the first card that fell out was the Four of Pentacles reverse. Then shortly after, we had the Devil come out. And then the final card that fell out was the Two of Cups. And then at the bottom of the deck, we had the King of Wands. So immediately the first thing that came to mind when that Four of Pentacles reverse fell out is you are learning how to be more, for lack of a better term, more flowy with your resources. You're not holding on so tightly to what you have, which is absolutely a good thing. Especially as earth signs, I know in general, you guys, once you get finances, you can hoard and store and save and really prevent yourself from using the funds you have in the present moment to enjoy where you are. So the Four of Pentacles reverse is a good thing. It tells me that you're leaning more into life and not being so afraid of losing the resources that you accumulated, which shows an openness, especially for you, Virgo, where you're not so focused on like the what if. It puts you more in the present, but as you're more in the present moment, you might be leaning towards giving into your vices. You might be straying towards those things that you know you do that are unresourceful, bad habits, maybe leaning towards substances or something else that promotes escapism. So that's something to be mindful of. And I'm hoping that the reason you're not or I'm hoping the reason that you are being more open with your spending and your finances and your resources isn't to feed whatever this habit is. So that's something to be mindful of. The devil, it's not just focusing though on the bad habits, it's about recognizing them and acknowledging them. So you can bring that acknowledgement and awareness to these things and then work to take control back over yourself. It's just a recognition of what am I doing that's preventing me from growing, from moving forward, from continuing along on my path, increasing my health. What am I doing that's preventing that? And how can I use my awareness to help bring myself back into alignment and not be so gripped by these unhealthy, unresourceful habits? And I think as you're learning to find that balance between, spending and being more present and being more involved in life, balancing that with not giving into your vices, not being so present that you then want to escape your present through those bad habits. And as you find again that balance and that connection between the two of I can be present without needing to give into the vices to escape, you're going to welcome in new relationships. You're going to welcome in some sort of dynamic with another person. This could be romantic. Two of Cups sometimes often points to a faded romantic relationship. But it could also be a friendship. It could be an opportunity. It could be something that's coming in to help you connect more deeply with your emotional side. And perhaps everything leading up to that, again, that more openness to spend and be more present and be more alive and participating in life, recognizing your vices, getting control, using your self control to control those vices. That's all. It feels like it's almost like a story playing itself out. Like, I had to learn this, I had to learn how to be present. And then that presence brought me back to some unhealthy habits that I had to acknowledge and recognize that me doing these habits aren't helping me move forward. So as I'm shedding these layers of myself where I was trying too hard to control or I was letting too loose with that lack of control, as I'm shedding these unhealthy habits and thought forms and mindsets and all of that, I'm coming more into balance with myself, coming more into my own center, and I'm making space for these new faded relationships to come in or opportunities again. And as these opportunities or relationships comes in, that's a new step. That's another step where, okay, so you got your resources out, so you're not so stuck on keeping them so close to your chest, so you're participating again in life. You're getting your mindset in check, so you're recognizing when your mind is kind of taking control rather than your heart or your intellect. And then that's going to push you to connecting more deeply to your heart and more to your intuition and bring you the people and situations that will help you learn whatever lessons you need to learn to be more present in your heart. So I feel Virgo in September, you guys are really coming into balance with yourselves. And that's only emphasized by the King of Wands here at the bottom of the deck. It's a deep presence. It's being inspired by the people around you and the environment that you surround yourself in. And it's not only the inspiration, it's the ability to create the life you want from that inspiration. So it's not just like a la di da creativity, flowy energy, but it's also the tangibility of that. So, and perhaps this will be the start of September too, because we'll still be in the midst of Virgo season for that. So I think just especially depending on where Virgo is in your chart, it's a lot of sixth house energy of just like, getting your habits back into check, getting becoming more aware of yourself. And honestly, it's just Virgo energy in general of just like, okay, how can I use my life experiences to continue to improve myself on a daily basis? Oh my gosh. Okay. So we had the Seven of Cups reverse fall out, and then the Ten of Cups upright on the bottom of the deck. So the Seven of Cups reverse, that's an interesting thing here too. It's almost like this is all coming up not to give you the option to bring it into recognition, but it's almost like a forceful recognition. It's a forceful where it's like you don't even have the choice right now. You are going to go through these things, and that's I don't want to make it sound like a scary thing because it's really not. It's just you becoming more aware of yourself, you becoming a master. It's like you're mastering all of these different components of yourself for whatever's to come next. And as you master that, you're going to welcome in this really healthy, really connected home life where whether you live by yourself or you live with family or you live with a partner or friends, whatever it might be, you're going to feel really, really at peace coming back to your house. There's going to be celebration and love and just this abundance of emotional protection there. And yeah, that's 3 cups that came out already. So yeah, Virgo season as it's all just mastery, it feels like. It's not anything that you haven't gone through before. It seems like this is coming back around as a way to be like, yoo-hoo, like we went through this before. Did you learn the lesson? We're going to see if you learn the lesson. But I don't think there's anything to worry about because I think all of these energies are saying, yeah, I have learned the lesson and I'm ready to move forward and I'm ready to progress. I'm ready to continue to grow with who I am as a person. And look at that. Two queens at one time, Queen of Cups and Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Cups and Queen of Pentacles. Again, it's a mastery. It's a mastery, and you can use this mastery not only to connect with your emotional side, your intuition, your internal guidance system that tells you what is right for you, what would be the best option for you moving forward. As you connect to that intuition and that again inner radar, you're going to find opportunities that will help you find that stability again. So, and that's really interesting. Again, the Four of Pentacles reverse was learning to not hold so tightly to your finances and your resources. And that's almost going to be like the start of it, where as you move through all these lessons and this mastery and this recognition, you're going to come eventually to the Queen of Pentacles, which is like, you don't have to hold on so tightly to your resources because you know they're ever flowing. You know you have that stability. So even if you do let yourself be more present and be more open with your spending habits or just like what you're experiencing, you know you're going to be okay because you have built that foundation. And as you move through all of these lessons and this mastery of the mind and the heart and the spirit and the environment, you're just going to amplify that stability as well and really set yourself up for greatness here, for greatness. This is incredible, Virgo. And again, this devil wants to say something else again. I think that from what I'm seeing, the toughest part of what you're going to be going through, and as I say this, the Page of Swords just jumped out at the bottom. So this is definitely relevant. The toughest part about this whole situation is learning to become a master of your mind and not letting your subconscious fears, your subconscious habits, your subconscious like knee-jerk reactions be what dictates at you as you move forward. They're coming up again, these little I don't want to use the word test, but these little instances will come up to see like how you are going to respond. And again, it's just a cyclical thing where it's like, okay, we've been through this before. Let's maybe in the past I wasn't so much of a master over my own mind. I didn't listen to the wisdom and the messages that were coming through my intellect. Rather, I was just reacting, letting fear take over, letting lack take over. Again, those unresourceful mindsets take over. But as it comes up this time around, the page is all about openness to receiving those messages. The page acts as a messenger in itself, and with swords, it's all mental. So it's you are going to have the capability to use these little hints and tests and an opportunity for awareness to be open to receiving the wisdom that comes through these habits, that comes through this understanding of yourself. And that's really what I'm getting here, Virgo. It's September is all about self-awareness, self-understanding, and self-growth. And I think it's really laying the platform for what's to come later in the year. It makes me excited for your October reading to see what's what, but as long as you really maintain that sense of composure over yourself, and I think again, the key here is balance. It's going to be balance. It's not being so hard on yourself, first of all. Okay, this is the third time the world reverse popped out, so she definitely wants to say something. I'll get to her in a second, but it's not and then the hermit reverse, which goes along with exactly what I was just about to say. So as these habits come forth and are coming to the forefront of your awareness, it's important that you're not so hard on yourself and you're not overly judgmental about what these habits are representing in your life. Because Virgo, you can be so hard on yourself, so incredibly hard on yourselves. And it's almost like you guys forget you're human and you're allowed to be messy and you're allowed to make mistakes. And I think that's going to be the key with all of these unresourceful habits coming to the forefront, uh, and just to your awareness. A, do not judge yourself for the deeply human aspects of yourself. We are all flawed and we are all beautiful for our flaws. And the growth comes through recognition of the flaws and not trying to shove them into a closet, shut the door, turn the lights off, and never open it again. No, it's these are coming to your awareness so you can acknowledge them, love them, give them the acknowledgement and the love they need because they're parts of yourself and they're parts of yourself that maybe have never gotten that acknowledgement or love before. And as they're coming back up, it's important that you don't shut yourself away because you feel so like guilty about having these unresourceful habits, and you don't need to hide yourself. You don't need to hide yourself and act like there's something deeply wrong about you because there's not. It's just these human sides of yourself that you don't want other people to see or acknowledge, that you don't even want to see or acknowledge, that are going to come to the forefront so you can recognize that they are just as much a part of you as, the organizational side of you, or the productive side, the work ethic. They're as much of a part of you as any other aspect of yourself that you deem positive. So it's important to give them the love they deserve and not shut yourself away, which is exactly what I was getting to when the Hermit Reverse came out. So this is going to be a time for you to really, again, be present in the world around you, be present in your own life, be like emerge back out into the world itself, because there's wisdom but also experience that's waiting for you on the other side of that. And through that experience, you're going to learn more about yourself and about how, maybe this is going to be a deep lesson about how you haven't been present before. And I think part of the reason you haven't experienced that full, genuine presence in your life before is because there were parts of yourself that you didn't want the world to see. So you were always, even if it was an unconscious, subconscious thing, you were always on edge because you wanted to paint this facade of this like perfect individual for others. So you never wanted those sides of yourself to come out. September will be a time where you're, again, Seven of Cups reversed. There's not a choice here. These sides of yourself are going to come out, whether with yourself or with your partner or with a group of people. And it's going to be about the acceptance of that side of yourself. It's going to be about bringing the love and the acknowledgement there and not running away, because that acknowledgement and that acceptance is what's going to help you grow through these unhealthy habits, so that when they do come up later, you're going to be like, oh yeah, that's right, I don't need to do this. I can just shift my perspective, pivot a little bit, and I'll go this way rather than letting this side of those unresourceful things take over. And the world reverse, interesting, because Three of Wands is underneath of it too. The world reverse, while you are emerging back out into society and making yourself seen even in the messiness, it's important not to overextend yourself as you're doing this. Because again, this is all deep internal work as you're moving through it. And I want to emphasize it's not going to be anything traumatic. That's not what I'm getting here. It's just these little nudges. It'll be like, again, it's like, hey, we're back. Like, do you want to acknowledge us now? It's something that's coming back up. It's not going to be for the first time. So it's not anything that's going to like pull the rug out from under you or anything like that. Um, but it is important that you don't overextend yourself or overdo something. Or again, I think the world reverse is just an emphasis on not being too hard on yourself too. Not being too hard on yourself too. But as you're emerging in the world, don't go too far. Don't go past your own personal boundaries that you have. And maybe that's really the emphasis there. It's knowing your own personal limits too. Because as that one just, I don't know if you saw that, that card flew out of my hand. Um, Wheel of Fortune reverse. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. So while you're moving through all of this, it's important to recognize the boundaries and recognize that just because you're doing the inner work doesn't make you entitled to a certain amount of luck or good fortune or anything like that. That is exactly what that is. Don't feel entitled, especially this combination here. There you as you're moving through this, again, you guys you are very much completionists and can occasionally be perfectionists. So with perfectionism, there's nowhere to grow. So that's something that you need to be very, very aware of as you move through this. Like these things are coming back up, and you're gonna say, "Oh yeah, I've mastered that now." Like where's my night? Like where's my buffet? Where's my celebration? But no, it's stray away from perfectionism and expectations. Stray away from perfectionism and expectations because that's just going to hurt you in the long run. Because again, you guys, Virgos, I adore you, and this world would not function the way it needs to without you. But the expectations you put on yourself and others and your environment and the world are just sometimes unattainable. So you having these outrageous expectations, 1818 on the clock. I don't know if that means anything, but you having these outrageous expectations are only going to let you down. They're not going to change anything externally. They're not going to change the person. It's only going to let you down. So don't overextend. Don't have too high of expectations to yourself that are unattainable. Take it step by step. Take it day by day. Take it little by little. Take it little by little. Because Wheel of Fortune is also represented by Jupiter, and Jupiter is all about expansion and growth and all of that bigness. But when it's reversed, it's really saying baby steps. Time, like just let it take as much time as it needs to take. Oh, that was about half the deck that fell out, so let's keep shuffling there. I'm gonna shuffle about 5 more times and see if anything else wants to come out. But that does honestly feel really complete, Virgo. 3, 4, last one, 5. So nothing came out, but we have justice on the bottom of the deck. And I love that it's two hands because it's really you serving yourself the karmic justice that you need so you can continue your growth and your expansion in your own life and not be so shut away, not be so stingy and stagnant and too much in your head. I think again, all of this mastery is to help you get out of your head and more into your heart, find the balance of yourself, recognize the things from your past you never actually moved through. They're going to come back around so you can, again, acknowledge and process and understand and pivot where necessary. But this is a very loving reading. This is a very, very much a loving reading. It's a loving awareness. It's a loving growth. It's a loving expansion. It's bringing things to your awareness so you can move forward in a healthy, dynamic way. And again, this makes me really excited to see what's coming up for you in the future in your the October, November, December readings because this feels like a lot of shedding and a lot of mastery. It's shedding and learning and growth. It's creating that foundation because that foundation is needed so you can level up from there. And that's really what it is. You are using the month of September to clear out anything else that won't serve you moving forward and create that foundation, both externally in your physical environment and internally. So again, I'm really excited to see where this takes you, Virgo. I have chills. I have chills on my whole body. Woo! So exciting. That's confirmation right there. But Again, this was a general reading, so it might not all resonate for you. If you guys want personal readings, check out my Patreon or my website, link down below. Of course, like, subscribe, anything you want. I'm here to answer questions if you have any in the comments as well. But again, Virgo, I want to emphasize, I am so excited for you guys. And welcome everything with a loving acceptance. Welcome everything with a loving acceptance. Welcome everything with a loving acceptance this upcoming September. And don't judge yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. Remember, you're human. You're deeply human, and that's what makes you beautiful. I love you guys. Good luck out there. Can't wait to see what happens.